virtual friends, Brent with re-VIVE Mobile Detailing here to talk to you today about paint protection. With the average cost of a luxury SUV costing almost $60,000, many of us are thinking about different ways that we can protect and preserve the quality and resale value of our vehicles. So one of the categories that detailers offer is paint protection. Now, paint protection comes in many different varieties. There's really 4 different ways you can protect the paint on your vehicle. First being wax, and then the next step up is sealant, ceramic coating, and at the high end there's paint protection film, also known as PPF or clear bra. So what I'd like to do is just talk through those 4 different things and the pros and cons with each one. So again, the first one that we often talk about is a wax. That's the most common paint protection. Pretty much all of us are familiar with it, and it's the most common one that gets used. Wax is a great product for applying to a vehicle, and it's typically used on high-end vehicles that have exceptional paint jobs. The biggest benefit to wax on a vehicle for protection is it really gives it the best shine possible and the highest luster. The downside is a wax coating on your vehicle isn't going to last as long as any of the other options. Wax is a natural product, and it starts to break down from the UV light that's going to hit it. So again, if you're driving a classic car that maybe you take to shows on the weekends and you want to do the waxing yourself, that's the best option for you. You're going to keep your car in a garage so it's protected from the UV, but you're going to take it out on special occasions, and waxing is the best way to go. The next step from that would be a sealant. Now that's what most detailers are using nowadays on cars after they give them a wash. They're putting a sealant on them. It's a product that's very similar to wax. I consider it kind of a synthetic wax, where it doesn't have the same concerns with it breaking down like a wax would. So it's going to last longer. Wax will last 2 to 3 months in the best case scenario, whereas sealant can last 4 to 6, maybe even 8 months if it stays inside of a garage. So a sealant's going to add some extra protection to the paint, but it's not going to last you forever. It's something that you'd want to replace on the vehicle once or twice a year to give it that added protection. After sealant, the next step is ceramic coating. Now this is probably the most misunderstood products that's available for paint protection on a vehicle. Ceramic coating is actually a product that bonds with the paint on your vehicle, and it will last years of protection. Not only does it give you years of protection, but it's actually harder than the clear coat on vehicles. On the Mohs scale, which is the scale of hardness, typical clear coat on a vehicle is about a 3, where most ceramic coats have a 9H as a hardness. So it's going to give you a much harder surface and protect against micro scratches and scarring that can happen to your car from everyday stuff like going through the car wash or just opening and closing doors from your fingernails. A lot of clear coats will allow that to scratch. Ceramic coating is going to protect against that. Another benefit to ceramic coating over any of the other products that's out there, wax, sealant, or even paint protection, which we haven't talked about yet, is that it has real high hydrophobic properties, and that just means it's really slippery. The value of a really slippery surface on your vehicle is 2 things. One is it allows the rain and whatnot to slip off the vehicle, so it actually stays cleaner longer because the external contaminants and dirt in the environment can't attach themselves to the vehicle. It also means when you do get to wash your vehicle, it's much easier to wash. So you get those 2 added benefits by using ceramic coat. Ceramic coat is typically used by consumers that have higher end vehicles, or someone that has a vehicle that's special to them and they want to protect it for the long haul. It's on the scale of the 3 things we've talked about, wax, sealant, and ceramic coating. Ceramic coating is considerably more expensive for 2 reasons. One is it takes extra skill to apply it. It's not something that most DIY people would try to do because there's risk in putting the product on improperly and negatively impacting the visual appearance of your vehicle. The other is because the product is going to last years on your vehicle, you want to make sure you go through and you address any existing scratches and swirl marks that are on the vehicle. If you don't do that, all you're doing is locking in some imperfections into the paint for the years that the product's going to last. So those 2 things combined tend to drive up the cost on ceramic coating. While it is more expensive for a vehicle such as this one that's about $60,000, it's well worth the investment. And then at the highest end for paint protection is paint protection film. Now this is an actual film that gets applied to the car. The other ones were all liquid products. Paint protection film is a physical film that gets applied to the vehicle. It typically gets put just on the front of the vehicle, so it's being put on the bumpers, it's being put on the hood only up to a certain point where it's going to get the impact from rocks and whatnot, and it will also get put on the mirrors. So in these three places it's going to protect against rocks that are hitting the vehicle, which the other products can't do. So it's a great product for preserving the front end of your vehicle. There are a couple downsides with it. It's costly to apply. So you're talking about the most expensive paint protection over the four things we've talked about. And it's only going to cover a part of your vehicle. What we talked about just then was the bumper, the front of your hood, and the mirrors. Those three alone are going to be the most expensive, but only protect a percentage of your vehicle. Often paint protection film is provided or is chosen by consumers to have ceramic coating on the rest of the vehicle. The customer that's likely to use that is someone that has a very high-end vehicle, doesn't get driven very much, and they don't want to risk any damage happening to the front of the vehicle because of the devaluation. We'll also see that put on vehicles where people use them at the track. So those are the three different options that you have for paint protection: wax, sealant, ceramic coat, and paint protection film. So we'd love to hear from you at re-VIVE with any questions you have or any videos you'd like to see in the future. Just put them in the comments below. As always, we'd love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be the first one to view the new videos that come out. Thank you.